What's going on, Cowboys Nation? I hope y'all are sitting down because we've got some urgent and absolutely electric news coming out of Dallas that could completely shake up the Cowboys offense heading into the upcoming NFL season. Reports are buzzing that the Dallas Cowboys are actively eyeing former Ravens and Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins as a major target to inject some serious juice into their offense, and let me tell you, this could be one of the most underrated, yet impactful moves this team could make all offseason. Now, I know what you're thinking: why Dobbins, and why now? Well, let's unpack it all, from his explosive play style to how he fits in Dallas, what this means for the running back room, and why this might just be a sneaky Super Bowl caliber move. First off, let's rewind the clock a bit. J.K. Dobbins was a second-round pick out of Ohio State back in the 2020 NFL Draft. And for those who watched him in college, you know this guy was an absolute problem for defenses. He wasn't just good, he was dominant, racking up over 2,000 rushing yards in his final college season. He was fast, shifty, strong through contact, and had excellent vision. Scouts loved his blend of power and finesse, and he came into the league with sky-high expectations. When the Ravens drafted him, they saw him as the future of their backfield, and honestly, he showed flashes of being exactly that. His rookie season was promising. He averaged over 6 yards per carry and looked every bit like the next breakout star. But unfortunately, his career so far has been riddled with injuries. A torn ACL, an Achilles issue, and a string of lower body problems have kept him off the field more than anyone would have liked. But here's the thing: when healthy, J.K. Dobbins is absolutely electric, and that's exactly what the Cowboys need right now. Think about it. With Tony Pollard now in Tennessee, the Cowboys are looking at a backfield led by Rico Dowdle and maybe a couple of rookies or backups. No disrespect to those guys, they're hard-working players, but let's be honest, that's not striking fear into opposing defenses. The Cowboys have built a roster that is built to compete right now. They've got Dak Prescott playing for what might be his last chance at proving he can take this team deep into the postseason. You've got one of the best route runners in the league in CeeDee Lamb, a potentially huge second-year leap from Brandon Cooks, and let's not forget a defense that's anchored by Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. This team is stacked with talent, but what they're missing is that dynamic, go-to running back who can take pressure off Doc and keep defenses honest. Enter J.K. Dobbins. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Dobbins is coming off a bounce-back year with the Chargers where, for the first time in a while, he looked like himself again. In limited action, he still showed that burst, that vision, and that home run ability that made him so hyped in the first place. His cuts were sharp, his acceleration was back, and most importantly, he looked confident. Mentally, recovering from multiple injuries is tough, but Dobbins looked like a guy who was finally turning the corner and ready to prove the league wrong. And it's no coincidence that the Cowboys are watching this very closely. Jerry Jones, for all his flaws, has always had a keen eye for star potential, and Dobbins has that written all over him. The fit in Dallas makes a ton of sense. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is expected to lean more on balance this season. After last year's struggles in short yardage situations and the failure to consistently get the run game going in the red zone, adding a back like Dobbins who can turn the corner, push the pile, and hit a home run from anywhere on the field could open up the entire playbook. You put Dobbins in motion, you run him off tackle, you use him in play action, suddenly, this offense becomes a nightmare to defend. And don't forget, Dobbins can catch the ball out of the backfield too. That versatility is a major plus, especially when you consider how the league is shifting toward dual-threat backs who can create mismatches in the passing game. Imagine a two-back set with Dobbins and Deuce Vaughn. Now imagine CeeDee Lamb motioning out of the slot while Dobbins fakes a run up the gut. Boom. You've got options all over the field. That's what this offense needs: unpredictability, speed, and explosion. Now, here's where things get really spicy. Dobbins has reportedly drawn interest from other teams too, including the Kansas City Chiefs. That's right, the reigning Super Bowl champs are sniffing around, which means the Cowboys are going to have to act fast if they want to land their guy. But here's the thing, Dallas offers something Kansas City can't: home. J.K. Dobbins is a Texas guy. Playing in Dallas would be a return home, a chance to shine in front of family and friends, and a real opportunity to become a featured star in one of the most iconic franchises in all of sports. That kind of opportunity doesn't come around every day. And let's be real, if you want to build your brand, if you want to make a statement and prove to the world that you're back and better than ever, there's no bigger stage than at NT Stadium under those bright lights. You combine that with the opportunity to play behind one of the better offensive lines in football, led by guys like Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, and suddenly you're looking at the perfect scenario for a comeback season. But here's the question: will Jerry pull the trigger? Historically, the Cowboys have been cautious when it comes to players with injury histories. But in recent years, we've seen them take calculated risks. The Stephon Gilmore trade, the Brandon Cooks acquisition, these were moves aimed at getting over the hump, not rebuilding. And if the front office is serious about winning now, then taking a chance on a high upside, low-cost option like J.K. Dobbins makes a ton of sense. Contract-wise, Dobbins likely won't break the bank. You're probably looking at a short-term, incentive-laden deal, something like 1 year, $4 million, with bonuses tied to games played and performance. That kind of deal minimizes risk and gives the Cowboys flexibility moving forward. Plus, if it doesn't work out, you're not locked in. But if it does work out, if Dobbins returns to form, you've got one of the most dangerous backs in the league for pennies on the dollar. That's the kind of move that can swing a season. Now, let's take a second to think about how this move would impact the locker room. Dobbins is known as a hard worker and a passionate player. He brings energy, competitiveness, and a chip on his shoulder that would resonate well with guys like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. This team is hungry, and adding a player like Dobbins only adds to that fire. He's the kind of guy who wants to prove people wrong, who's been doubted because of injuries, and who's looking to make a statement. That mindset is contagious. It's not just about X's and O's, it's about culture, about attitude, and about building a roster full of dogs who are ready to scrap every Sunday. So, where do we go from here? Well, the Cowboys have options. They could wait until after the draft to see what shakes out. They could see if Dobbins' market cools a bit. But the risk there is letting him slip away to a team like Kansas City or even Miami. My take? Don't wait, make the call. Bring Dobbins in, get him in the building, let him talk to Doc and the coaching staff, and see what the vibe is. Because if he's healthy and all signs are pointing to yes, you're not just getting a good running back. You're getting a potential star who could take this offense from good to elite. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is J.K. Dobbins the missing piece we've been waiting for? Should the Cowboys roll the dice and bring him in? Or would you rather see them go after a different free agent or wait for the draft? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you're hyped about this possibility, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest Cowboys news, rumors, and updates. We're going to be tracking this story closely, and as soon as there's an update, you better believe you'll hear it here first. Until then, stay loud, stay proud, and remember, every offseason move counts, especially when you're chasing that 6th ring. Let's go Cowboys!